So thank you all for being out here on a chilly morning. I apologize for not being down here when you all kicked off. They needed my vote in a committee, so standing strong against the other side of the aisle. So here in about 15 minutes, I'm going to be carrying a resolution on the House floor that affirms that we stand with Texas in their fight against the federal government to defend our southern border. And I'm honored to be able to do that on your behalf, and especially on behalf of the people that I serve in Leavenworth, Fort Leavenworth and Kickapoo. Thank you. So this is clearly an invasion. This is clearly an invasion. 2.5 million last year, 2.2 million the year before that. 100,000 people dead from fentanyl overdose in this country. But those are really big numbers, and I'm going to talk about those numbers on the floor, but what I want to talk to you about is two people. One of them I just heard about today, and one of them I found out about earlier this year, and I've been carrying some legislation in response to that. The first one's a young lady, an underage girl from Mexico. And last year we passed a bill to make it illegal to smuggle humans for the purpose of trafficking. You heard from Carrie Barth and Rebecca Schmoy a little while ago, two great Americans that are fighting this fight. Because we armed our law enforcement with that law, the KHP was able to stop a car that this young girl was in. She was on her way up from the border where she'd been smuggled across the border, and a woman was taking her to Iowa to traffic her. Thank God the Highway Patrol stopped that vehicle, and that young girl is safe and is out of that network. But there are so many more that we're missing. There's so many more that don't get stopped, that are being smuggled across the border and are being forced into slavery in some of those horrific ways that you can imagine. You just don't even want to imagine. The other person I want to talk about is Cruz Burris. He's a young man, 15 years old in Lansing. Got a pill on Snapchat that he thought was Percocet. And he took the pill on FaceTime while his friends watched him in the middle of the night. Some guy came in the middle of the night and dropped off the pill and got $15 from Cruz. He took that pill, and it wasn't Percocet, it was a lethal dose of fentanyl, and it killed him while his friends watched. That's just one of the more than 1,000 Kansans that have been killed by fentanyl overdose in our state. I'm working on legislation. We just had a hearing the other day, and a lot of folks with family members from our community came and testified about similar stories. Texas is being forced to do something because our president refuses to execute his responsibilities, his constitutional responsibilities to secure the states. And today, as a body, as your representatives, as your servant leaders, we are going to say with one loud voice that Kansas stands with Texas.
Yes.
So thank you all very much for being out here today. I'm sorry I can't stay with you longer, but I got to go carry a bill. So thank you, and thank you, Tracy, for putting this thing together. Thank you.